Okay, we know that in space, telescopes can see the past by uh, adjusting the telescope and the strength of the telescope. We can see further and further back. And the more powerful the telescopes, we can see thousands of years uh, in time because uh, the light travels uh, such a speed and the distances are so immense that by adjusting the strength of the telescope, we can see the present or the past. Uh, and the more you adjust it, the strength, the stronger it is, you can see further back in time. So we know that telescopes allows us to see the present and past. If you get yourself a binoculars and just see the street, you'll see the present. Uh, if you go in space and use a telescope or just a regular telescope and see space, because it's so immense and light travels so much distance, the stronger the telescope, the further back in time you're going to see. So we know for a fact, and it's scientific, and we all know it, that telescopes allows us to see the present and or the past, depending on the strength of the telescope. So some scientists believe we could actually see the present by slowing the light itself that we perceive in our eyes. We could see the actual present. Well, it's basically, like I said, it's a little tricky, but I have a concept. I'm not saying it's gonna actually works, and I don't actually recommend it. It's just a hypothesis, a theory. Whether it works or not, well, I don't know. But I using the concept of light against light itself, we know that it's possible. Uh, but do you really want to know your future? I sure don't. Anyway, this is a light, protons and whatever electrons are, whatever's in the light, the UV light and stuff, and all the uh, types of lights the sun provides, the different colors and spectrums and stuff. Anyway, as it travel, uh, we perceive the light as is. In other words, on time. It's everything we see with our eyes is actually happening right now. Uh, but if somebody uh, in a distance, far away, in another galaxy, picks up a telescope and sees our world, they'll see us thousands of years in the past. So are they really seeing the past? Or for them it's the present, but they see in the past of what happened beforehand. So we know the light records history. So everything that happens is recorded in light. So even though a person or someone could actually see what happened in another galaxy thousands of years in the past through a telescope, can actually be done to see the future. Well, in this case, the light rays that come in will hit our eye uh, right on time. But in order to see the past, we have to have a stronger telescope, like in space. But in order to see the future, then you have to slow the light itself that we perceive in the eyes. For example, this is the light rays coming in actual time. But if you have for example, a fiber optic cable, or this is a bent U-shaped fiber optic, where the light goes through here, it comes out this way. And then in the other opening, same deal. Light goes through here, it comes out this way. So now you have light coming out of these two portals of fiber optics. Basically, the light is being used against itself. This is the actual sunlight. But as it penetrates, it comes out this way. And on the other side, as it penetrates, it comes out this way. So what you have is light bouncing off of this and coming up here. But this is actual light. But see, this is the sunlight, and this is the actual light, boom, and both are meeting depending on the strength of this light reflecting fiber optics. They're meeting right here, where it should be meeting right here. So it's like, let's say you have a water hose. This is the water hose, and this is the water coming in. But you have another water hose with the same strength. So now you have two water hoses bouncing off each other, and they're not allowing the water of one source to fully flow on this side. So you're stopping the water to some degree from penetrating and doing its flow of current. So you're stopping it right here to some degree, and then you slow it. This might be, depending on the strength of this reflector, it could be milliseconds into the future, because it's hard to explain it, but I'll try my best. Let me see if I could draw something here. This is the eye looking up in the sky. Okay. Sorry, I know kind of. Anyway, this is the eye. Anyway, we see the sunlight in real time. Okay, that's real time. Let's say as the light's flowing, right? If we could stop it, let's say right here, by reflecting light. This is light, right? Then we'll see this point in time. Okay, milliseconds, whatever. So the light's flowing, boom. But we have another light source of the same reflecting it, then we could stop time and we could see it with the telescope milliseconds into the future. Now, if the light reflecting is stronger, then we could stop it right here, and then we could see further in the future. So the point is, we can see different points in time from the sun before it hits our light in our eyes, because when it hits our eyes, we actually perceive the image, the time itself. So if we could, it's like imagining a car in a freeway, right? It's going to reach our destination a certain time, but if we could slow the car or vehicle, it's going to take longer to reach the destination. In this case is the light. If we have another reflecting light source, like right here, we could slow it down or stop it. This is the actual image of the future, and we have the light coming in here and going this way on both sides and reflecting it back to stop it here or to stop it right here. At whatever point you want it, depending on the strength of the reflector, we could see further back. Now, this is just a concept. It's only a theory. Honestly, I wouldn't do it because it's kind of creepy. But I'm just saying that the scientists believe it's possible to actually see the future through a telescope. I believe it can be done, but I don't think it's recommended. Morally, spiritually, I don't think it's a wise decision to actually start building such things. But the fact is, telescopes allows us to see the past, and that's a fact. You look in space telescopes; they can see the past thousands of years in the past. So we see in history that happened thousands of years. And if you pick up your telescope here on Earth, your binoculars, you can see it real time as it happens. But if you could slow the light that reaches your eye by reflecting light itself, by using light, this is sunlight going this way, and this is sunlight going this way, but you're using the same light from this source reflecting on itself, basically using light against light itself to slow a point in time so you can see it. So instead of this light reaching this eyesight right here, you could see it right here, or right here, or further back, or further forward, then you can see the time in seconds into the future, or more or less, depending how much you reflect back. It's just a concept. Like I said, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Um, uh, I'm just a hobby inventor, and sometimes I share some inventions as just, you know, I don't know, sci-fi. Whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they may actually work, and sometimes there's just ideas. But anyway, this is one of my ideas that I came up with based on the fact that scientists say that it's possible. And your guess is as good as mine. And whether it works or not, hey, to each his own.